Hey everybody, today I will be doing another quick video on C++, and I will be doing just a quick review on variables and what is the purpose of using using namespace. And we might use another library to see how we can use variables to represent not only numbers but also strings. Okay, so let's get started, right? So here in this little search box over here in Windows operating system like the one that I have. If you have a Mac, probably it's going to be different. But on Windows, you go on this little search box over here and you just type Visual VI and Visual Studio 2017 will pop up, right? Because that was the first program that we used last time, and that was basically the one that will come on the list, right? So let's see. Okay, here you go. Let me see if we can get a little more. Okay, so right, that's fine. Okay, now let's here, as we can see, we have the solutions, right? And we have the one that we did, right? So we got some stats back here, and just erase that. Okay, now so now I don't have any more. Okay, let's see. Okay, something. Okay, right here. I'm missing. Here you go. Okay, we're making sure that this is still running, the one that we did last time, right? Yep, it works. Okay, so now, here we had multiplication, I think. Yep, we had a multiplication there. Okay, so now let's go through using namespace. What using namespace does is it recognizes the identifiers, all the functions, built-in functions in C++. For example, in this case right here, this using namespace allows me to use this command here, cout, right? And align. Those are built-in functions that C++ does, which the cout is telling C++, this line of code, okay, output this information to the window. Whatever is in this bracket here, output into the window. This ENDL tells the program, okay, this is the end of line. This is the end of this line. Okay. So for me to use that, I need to I need to have this piece of code here using namespace std. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Let's comment it out just to see that without that, this program will not run. And let's just try it out. See, I'm getting an error, and it's highlighting these two words here, the cout and also the end of line. All right, so that's what the cout does. I mean, the end of the user namespace does. Right, that's what the user namespace does. It recognizes and identifies identifies the identifiers, right? So it actually recognizes the identifiers and execute whatever and allows the identifiers to execute whatever whatever functionality they doing, right? In this case, they output this information between this less than symbols, right? Now, so let's uncomment that, and now the error goes away. Okay, now let's explain a little quick what variables do, right? A variables is basically a placeholder that holds a certain value or holds a certain, that value can be a number, can be some data, can be a string, can be names, right? And a variable can hold those values, right? Now, in this case, I have double x equal 5 and double y equaled 8. And result, which is not holding anything, but it will hold the output. It will display the output of these two variables being multiplied. But again, another kind of fancy word for a variable is an allocation. It's called allocation in memory. Allocate something in memory, holds that value in memory until we tell the program to display it or to execute that piece of code, right? And display this little these values in the window, right? Or in the, and yeah, you can call it a window, little black window that displays when we execute the program, right? Now, let's say that we want to display a name of a person, or maybe a phrase, right? And we want to represent that but by a variable, right? So how we do that? In this here, we have to include another library. And to include a library again, we do shift and pound and then include, right? And then between here less than greater than symbol, I put string. Okay? That will allow me to use variables as a strings, right? So let's say here that you want to display. Actually, a string can be represented, both ways. You can just type it and put quotation marks in it. If you put quotation marks, that is a string, right? For example, if I want to put right here, I want to put another, for example, put less than again, right? And then I put quotation marks. In between those quotation marks, I put the result. Okay, is, right? It will display, it will say the result is 40, right? Now, let's run it. Again, to run the program, you go to debug. And at the debug, you will see this window here. It's a Windows graphic and a debugging. That's what you want. You want debugging or start without debugging. If you don't have the system post function, do the second one down. Start without debugging. Because if you do debugging, you're not going to be able to see it. It will just appear for a second and then disappear. Right? So quick that you're not going to be able to see it. Right? So, okay. So let's run the program and see. It says the result is, right? Okay. So, but let's say that we want to do the same thing, but I will represent this phrase right here, the result is, with a variable, right? I can put here, I can say a string, and see how it turns in blue? Because it's a keyword recognized by this IDE, and also it's recognized by the IDE, but it's, because it's a keyword from C++, it makes visible to us, it said, okay, this is blue, it's a keyword from C++, and help us. That way I cannot use this word as a variable myself. That kind of help out, right? So if I said here, and I can put a variable like, R, for example, for result, right? R, right? Equal quotation marks, right? So quotation mark like that, and of course a semicolon, right? In between these quotation marks, I put the result. The result is, right? And then I get rid of this. And just put R in there. Just put R in there, right? And let's run this program. It's going to do the same exact thing that we got in the last program. I'm sorry, in the last string. It's just the same. I am just replacing the string by a variable. Whatever, is. Let's run this program and see. It's going to be exactly the same thing. See? The result is, right? Now, last time I talked a little bit of, so now we see that we can use the string, we can use variables as a strings too, right? Okay. Now let's go through a little quick. Last time also I talked about a double, right? And I talked about what is the difference between a double and an integer, right? So so here I have a double, and if I change it to an integer, it's going to be the same thing. And the reason why is because if I multiply this, I'm not going to have any problem. It's going to multiply, I'm going to get 40 again. Okay. Now, what if I want to divide? If I want to divide, for example, y divided by x, right? So it's going to be a divided by x, which is going to be equal to 1 point something, right? If I do integer, here, this, the integer is going to display 1. And the reason being is because the integer will give me the answer for whatever the whole number goes into this 8. For example, 8 divided by 5. 8 divided by 5 is going to be 1 point something. But the integer doesn't care about the point something. The integer is going to display 1. And let's try this out. Here, instead of doing multiplication, let's do division. See, the answer is 1. Why? Because integer said okay, so the 5 goes into a one time, and then I don't care about the rest, about the decimals, right? Now let's do this as a double, right? Let's do the division. Let's do the division and use a double. And the double gave me the answer, right? 1.6. And again, like I said last time, it's depending what you're doing. The double give us a better chance, right, to work with both, with integers and decimals. Okay, so but what if I want to do integer, right? If I want to do int and I want to do $40 here, right? Then the integer is going to say, okay, the answer is going to be 8, and it does perfectly. because it's going to be you're not going to have any remainders, right? See, the result is 8. And again, this is because the integer has no problem doing division as long as the number, being divided by and the divisor, as long as the number is exactly whole numbers, if divides evenly and the number is a whole number, integer has no problem doing it at all, right? Okay. Okay, now let's see. Let's see, what if I do x here and y here? See what an integer does. The answer is 0. Why? Because you just calculate the first one. You said, okay, 40 goes into 5 0 times, forget about the rest, right? Forget about the rest. That's what integer does, right? Now, if I do double, it's going to be a bunch of decimals. See? 0.125. Okay, so in this video we went through the user namespace. We went through variables. We went through how we can use a variable to represent on a string. We went through the difference in data types. When I'm talking about data types, I am talking about double and integers. Those are data types. And we went through, yes, we went through the user namespace. We went through variables, and we went through how we can represent on a string using a variable, right? And that's it. That's it for this video. Hopefully you learned something about C++, and thank you for watching.